Bryant. So you're Dr. Vulcan?
Yes, Dr. Vulcan. A bizarre name, but it's what I stand for. Power. The power of steel forged into what I believe is right.
The right of a warped mind that works toward the destruction of peace.
Now, you've had your say, Mr. Rocket Man, whoever you are. But they're the last words you will ever utter. You came here to save your friend, Jeff King. But instead, you will precede him into eternity. Now, back up, right through that door. Back up!
Telephone a description of Bryant to the police and ask them to spread a dragnet. Meanwhile, we'd better search for Millard's decimator.
Bryant's already shipped it. I heard him discussing some fantastic extortion plot involving the city of New York.
That sounds like Vulcan, all right. Bert, look around for some clue as to what his plans might be.
Right. I'm afraid we're too late. Here's a receipt for a plane Durkin rented this morning.
All right. Thank you, Captain. Two men answering the descriptions of Bryant and Durkin took off in a small cabin plane almost an hour ago.
New York should be warned that Bryant may use the decimator in his extortion plot.
I can still beat Bryant in an airliner.
Not without me.
Nor me. This could be the scoop of my career.
Let's go. I have actually seen the sonic decimator begin to turn a mountain of stone into a sea of molten lava.
Well, there are many mountains of stone standing in New York City. And on your recommendation, the finest police force in the land has been covering every point of entry for 3 hours, even though I still believe it's a hoax.
Excuse me, sir. This just arrived by special delivery.
Perhaps you weren't unduly alarmed. Listen to this. Yours is the wealthiest city in the world. I want that wealth. If you fail to meet my billion-dollar ransom demand by Wednesday at 2 p.m., I will destroy New York City. Announce your decision by radio broadcast, and you will receive instructions for delivery of the ransom. It's signed, Dr. Vulcan. Oh, the man's a maniac.
Yes, but a very dangerous maniac, sir. Perhaps you should broadcast an offer to compromise.
Compromise? Place the greatest city in the world in the hands of one murdering blackmailer? Never. Telephone the police commissioner. Tell him to call out all reserves and volunteers. I want them to comb every neighborhood, every building, every room in this city. I want them to find this madman who calls himself Dr. Vulcan.
Jeff King probably has every cop in the country looking for us by now.
They won't find us on Fisherman's Island.
Just where is this Fisherman's Island?
Oh, about 300 miles off New York Harbor.
Still can't figure out how you're going to use the decimator. You say it only has a range of 200 miles?
Yes.
Well, New York is 300 miles away.
Come, Durkin. Look at this chart. There on the ocean floor, midway between here and New York Harbor, lies the great Amsterdam Fort, a volcanic fissure opening into the subterranean fires miles below the city of New York. Now, erosion has sealed up this vent, but the decimator,
when trained upon it, will smash through and bring about the worst earthquake and tidal wave in the history of America. Unless my ransom demands are met by 2 o'clock today.
Nearly half the city covered, not a single lead to Dr. Vulcan or the decimator.
And it's almost 2 o'clock.
My detector hasn't picked up any thromium impulses. If the decimator is beyond its range of 250 miles, I don't think Bryant can inflict any serious damage.
Well, I certainly hope you're right.
It's 2 o'clock. The time is up.
Yes? What? The Naval Observatory? Stand by for orders. The Naval Observatory is reporting sudden giant waves moving in on the harbor from approximately 300 miles southeast of here. Why, they'd no warning whatsoever. Do you think Millard's decimator could cause a thing like... What was that?
It felt like an earth tremor. Let's have a look at the chart. The Amsterdam Fault. That's between here and Fisherman's Island. And I'll bet that's where Vulcan has the decimator. I advise you to order the evacuation of the city immediately and tell them to begin with the harbor district.
All citizens, attention. New York City must be evacuated at once. Proceed in an orderly manner toward the Westchester Hills. All members of the police and fire departments on leave or off duty will report immediately to their precinct and company commands. This is urgent.
What's the delay? Why don't they put me on the air?
They're trying to clear a channel for you. Some of the relays have been disrupted.
They've got to put me through. This appeal to Dr. Vulcan may be our last chance to save the city.
The rocket suit's downstairs in my car. I'm going to fly to Fisherman's Island. And if Bryant is there, I'll try a little personal persuasion.
It might work, Jeff. Nothing else will.
Bert, you better stand watch here.
Right, Jeff. Stand by. You're on in 10 seconds.
It's dead.
You can't even pay Vulcan to stop now.
There's only one hope. A squadron of bombers from the Army Air Base may be able to blast Fisherman's Island right off the map. It's a good thing I had the foresight to send those bombers to destroy the decimator.
Well, what about Rocket Man? Doesn't he deserve some credit?
What's that?
He was just wondering if Rocket Man would remain with us now that Professor Bryant has paid for his crimes.
Well, I certainly hope so. But what has that got to do with what I was talking about?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Well, then, as I was saying, this fine administration will see New York City rebuilt into the greatest, the most wonderful, the finest city the world has ever known.